But he flexed his power like, bro, I'm me.
I'll just go be quiet for a little bit. I'll just go kick it with my baby.
Alright, so we was talking about HomeTeam. We was talking about Oso.
Yeah,
talking about Oso and the name, and the birth of the name.
Yeah, so
let's talk about the merch a little bit. I see you wearing the hoodie.
Yeah. So we tried, so HomeTeam, originally we was like rocking, Rangers hats. And that was our distinguisher, because I noticed when I moved back, like, bro, don't nobody really wear the Rangers hat like that. And so I was like, bro, I'm finna put it on. But now motherfuckers be wearing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying,
we appreciate y'all for wearing it.
No, real talk. But before, like, I really was like everywhere with it on. Before I was everywhere with it on, like nobody, like as far as artists and like in the creative, like nobody was wearing it. That's why I look up.
Hey, I'm keeping the band. I peep what you was doing with it. I peep what you was doing with it. I get it to you.
Like I like the homie made me one with the stitch stuff on it. You know what I'm saying? All that, bro. Like before this 2019, bro. Next thing I know, the Rangers has popping up a little bit more. I said, okay, cool.
Man, I love that shit though. Texas, everybody from Texas got pride.
Yeah,
a whole lot of pride. And the HomeTeam, we like very intentional about repping that shit. You know what I'm saying? And when we put on like the whole, everybody gonna know where we're from. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
I see where you at, baby.
It's cool to wear other people's stuff like Atlanta's hats, baseball caps. Everything. It's just the fashion and stuff. But being intentional about it and really like focusing on repping our where we're from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So y'all digging deep into the branding and marketing. I mean, like as deep as you can dig. I guess it's we like to keep it pretty natural. Yeah. And because who we are is already on brand. Like he was already doing that. That's already on brand. That's where we from. We already repping. Right. Everybody got their own story, which is what I think make HomeTeam so unique and make it what it is, because we ain't faking the funk. Everybody showing up as themselves. Everybody really doing what they doing. Yeah. And it meshes so easily and so well. That's how you know that it's something beyond you. Yeah. And in that moment, that's what make us like more submissive to our own movement. Like, all right, I can really get into this because I ain't got to change nothing I'm doing. And that's only changing I'm doing is elevation because of the people that I'm around. Like, okay, we doing the show. Let's make sure we on top of our shit for this show and make sure we on point. But other than that, we being ourselves to our core. We just so happen to be aligned. You know what I'm saying? So all of the marketing, all of everything is so. It's just unique. It's just so pure. Is the word that I'm looking for. Even doing this with y'all, like we'll have content from this, right? Using it for marketing, but everything we talking about being real. No fakes, no gimmicks. We just in here talking, having a good time, and that shines through more than anything else. You know?
Are y'all fearful of the route you have to take, like coming out and being a Texas artist?
If I'm being honest,
well, not even Texas, nigga, Dallas.
Just period.
Y'all already know. Hey, but look, I feel you. I already know where you coming from, but at the same time, we gonna get pinned there. You know what I'm saying? And I know you gonna make it.
He said not micro, but macro.
Yeah. But it's just like that whole.
Bro, we're not playing that game though, bro.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But look, hold up. Yellow Beezy, Trap Boy.
Shout out to them.
Tiger Man.
Yeah, free. Yeah, what was it? Trap Exotic.
Trap Exotic.
But when you look at their whole career as a whole, you know, it was up. Looking down now.
But this goes back to why it was created, right? Because it's hard to attach to one person. No, it's just hard to like for a group, for a collective city to get behind one person, right? It wasn't necessarily Hove that made New York get behind him. It was Rockefeller that made, like, people got behind Rock, like people got behind Bad Boy, people got behind NWA. They didn't get behind Ice Cube. They didn't get behind Dre, they didn't get behind Easy, they got behind NWA.
That's true.
And so we've just never had a movement that people can be like, I rock with that, I see myself in that. I'm aware I want to buy a HomeTeam hoodie. I want to do this. I want to wear a Rangers hat because they got it on. Like Ho said, make the Yankee hat more famous.
Kind of like you can say about Wiz.
Like
rock
Wiz,
Taylor Gang
stuff. Like people, a whole new generation who wasn't from like gangbanging started wearing Chucks. You gotta think people wasn't wearing like, bro, if you wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, West Coast, like even down here we wear Chucks.
I grew up wearing Chucks.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying, like
and Cortez.
No, straight up, bro. If you wasn't, that's not.
But it ain't our
East Coast
culture,
though. Yeah, that's in our culture. Cortez's and Chucks is in our culture. You know what I'm saying? What he said?
Nah, it's an underground. It's on one of the episodes. We had a Cortez story.
Yeah,
but
I love.
I had a retired mind. Long story short. But hey, nigga, hey. So I see with the movement. I get that part. I wanted to ask you real quick because I was thinking about it. Your habits behind your performances, bro. Like what I can tell you dig deep as far as when it comes to performing.
Yeah.
What got you there?
So when I first started, right, I was just like raw. Mind you, my whole life was kind of grooming me to be a performer. You know what I'm saying? To where like my mom had me like in them little baby pageants, like being on stage, right? And then I was in church with her, and I'm doing the dance team, the mom, and I was doing all that. So I've been on stage all my life, and then as a basketball player, like that's the stage, bro.
That's the stage.
And I was that type of player, like I'm trying to the crowd, right? And so I've literally been like groomed to be on stage, right? Okay. But when it came to music, my homie, his name is Jonathan Morris, up in Missouri. He was this white boy, but he was the first person to believe in me from Kansas City, and he grew up in church, but he grew up in like big white church, and you know they got the production, they got all that, right? Yeah. And so he taught me how to be excellent. Like he taught, all right, bro, that's not a good performance. Like you can't just stand there with a mic and like. So he taught, he really challenged me to learn how to like be great, like in performance wise, like doing the homework, doing the studying. And so I started studying, like at first it started out as just rappers. I was studying Kendrick, I was studying even Jay-Z. Jay-Z's not the greatest performer, but his charisma on stage is so crazy. Like he's just like the coolest nigga in the world. You know what I'm saying? So Kendrick, him, Cole's a really good performer, studying them. And then from there, it went to like really like, and I've always been a fan of Michael Jackson. Like that's what it started. I feel like everybody, you know what I'm saying? And like studying him and then going to like rock stars. That's really where I like studied the most and how like rock performers perform as far as like Freddie Mercury from Queen, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, Axl Rose, like all of them guys and how they would move the stage and like how they would move the crowd. And so from there, I started like formulating my performance and just over time you rehearsing. You practicing, you on stage, you learning like, and then my set like it really don't change too much unless I put out a new project. That's when it'll change the most. Right. Maybe I'll like switch up the whole vibe. All right, this album is a little bit more like keys and roads, so it's probably gonna feel a little bit more jazzy, a little more funky. Versus this one was harder, so all right, we probably gonna take that out. And it's just gonna be like real drum heavy, like you know what I'm saying. So it varies like that depending on the project, but you know it's just you know, it's total like study and practice, bro. You study and then you practice.
Bro, I for sure like left, like even all of y'all niggas though, to keep it a band. Like all of y'all niggas like, but you know, I came for little bro, so you know what I'm saying? I was definitely impressed by the time I left that motherfucker. Y'all niggas put on the show, you can tell y'all actually care. And that's what it's about, bro. Like caring about the performance. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give a shit. You gotta
your craft.
Your craft in general.
Go in. I'm gonna take a lead.
But my nigga, so my nigga, you into the conspiracy theories. Hey, so I've been on the rabbit hole all week, fam. And I wanna see what you think about this, my nigga. I'm actually kind of scared to.
But first, have you talked about how you got into touring with them too?
Nah, we was real close.
Let's jump in. How you joined the HomeTeam?
Yeah, basically, me and Oso been tight for like maybe 6-7 years, I think at this point. And we had met through a dude named DJ Bow who worked with like Reach Records and stuff like that back in the, that time. And so I was doing my Christian thing. Like I was moving away from some stuff and you know what I'm saying, getting real into church, and I tried to take that Christian route for a minute. And that's how me and Oso met. And we ended up jumping on the track together.
It's a band there, by the way.
Just like really hitting it off, and me and him we were like family after that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we was together all the time in the studio making music, and it just turned into sessions where we sitting in there talking to each other, just talking about life and stuff like that, you know?
You and Oso?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, years go past, you know, I'm going through some things with my old lady. We're getting a divorce. You know, I had to start all over. I ain't got no car. I'm going through it. I had to start hustling and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing, trying to get back to where I was. And, you know, I finally I quit music for like 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't going back because I was trying to make money. That was my main focus. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting to this spot to where I had made up my mind. Literally the day before I had talked to them, the day before, I'm like, I'm clocking out. You know, I work in a warehouse. I'm clocking out, and then homeboy behind me, he's like, hey, yo. He's like, what's up, bro? You ain't got no new music coming? What's up? He's like, I ain't heard you drop nothing in a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, man, I ain't fucking with that no more. You know, I'm just getting this paper. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just focused on this money and raising my kids. I just got full custody, like, you know, a few months before that. So it's just been money in my kids.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
I got 3 boys.
I need to know the scoop. Keep going.
You know, it's just me and my boys. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta focus on money. That's it. So I told them I ain't fucking with that music shit. Like that ain't even on my mind right now. The next day, they hit me up. Also hit me up on FaceTime. I'm at home. I work night shifts, so I get home at like 8 o'clock. I'm out back, you know, feeding the dog, getting them outside and stuff. And then they hit me on FaceTime, and I'm just like, you know, what's he calling me this early for? Like, I get on, and then he hop on. He's like, hold on, I don't even know who he is, bro. Joseph get on the FaceTime, I don't even know who he is.
You like, who this slick talking?
Bro. It's really like, bro, like, I need you to jump on this track. I just heard your stuff. He's like, I need you. I got this project I'm working on. He kind of filled me in. I let him tell that part of the story if he wants to, because
I was trying to let y'all get
they caught me off guard that morning, and I'm like, you know, like I just came from a place where like I was grinding to get everything that I had put back together. Like I had to go to 04 Impala from nothing, and then moved up to a 14, got in a car wreck, like. You know what I'm saying? Like I was going through it, but throughout it all, I'm hitting it, hustling, getting, you know, 3 or 4 different hustles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then they just hit me up out of nowhere, and then you know.
Yeah. So me and Oso work together, and so he just playing music, and I'm like, once again, tone. That's what catches me, like the ability to like control your tone and like. You know, sound like you know what you're doing. Right. And so he just playing like random songs. He be playing all type of his homie songs. And some of them be alright, some of them be like, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But then he played one of his joints. Was it Too Far? Too Far. He played Too Far, bro. As you see, he know, because I get bro like, yo! But and I was like, what the fuck? Like, the storytelling, like it was captivating. You believed every word he said. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, yo, bro, I don't know who that is, but like we gotta bring him on board, bro. Because I was like, we had RJ, but I was like, you know, they like real melody driven. I was like, we need another spitter though. Like we need another like who can like really like on some like, you know what I'm saying? Like rap stuff, like who can really go. And then like you said, like alignment, bro. And he just I didn't ask him to play artists. Like we was just in his car and he just pressed play. And that was what came up. And I was like, yo, bro, what he doing? Like, who is this guy?
So where is he now?
Yeah, like where is he right now? He's like, bro, he ain't really on music like that. Like, I don't know. I'm like, bro, call him and let me talk just real quick, bro. Like, let me holler at him. And so we did, and bro pulled up. I'm trying to think what session was that.
They told me to pull up, like it was early morning session, like 9 o'clock or something. I had went straight from work, bro. I went straight from work. I got off at 7 in the morning, made some arrangements with my kids, and then I went straight over to the studio. dropped one verse with him, and it was like the first time I had wrote anything in years. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't been doing nothing, like nothing, no musical stuff. Like I might, freestyle in my car every now and then, or write a verse here and there, see if I still got it. But I ain't been on it like that. When the studio dropped the verse, and then after that they were like,
"It's a rap."
Yeah,
come on, that's some real shit, man.
Yeah.
Bro, it's the universe, bro. This shit really working in our favor.
Yeah.
You know, if you just open up to
you really
it,
tell.
Hey, the reason I accepted because he was like, "Hey, give me what you say? Give me 3 months to show you what we can do."
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
The
only reason I said yes. The only reason I said yes was because the day before, homeboy was like, "Hey, where's the new music?" So I had looked at that as like a sign. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna ignore this. Like this is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was still like standoffish. I'm like, all right, well, we'll see where it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we'll see where it goes, and then here we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they've been pushing me to, get back at it and push my craft further than I ever have. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the most impressive thing about them is they trusted me enough to challenge them. You know what I'm saying? That was the biggest thing. You know what I'm saying? It was they trusted, because I think they trusted my work ethic because they know how I am as a worker, to challenge them to keep, you know what I'm saying, keep going to levels I heard, because when I heard them, I could tell, and I know what it's like to be not doing it and then trying to work your way, because you gotta get back in shape, bro. You gotta get back in shape. And so I knew what he was going through, and I was just like, man, I think that's hard, but I think, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, because I was hearing him when he was at what I was introduced to was him when he was in that zone, this is what he was really doing. So I'm like, okay, I know it's
it's there. It's coming. It's there. You gotta bring it back up.
Exactly. But it was we only had one conversation like that, and then from there,
I ain't even all the way there yet.
Yeah.
I'm still.
Y'all know it's ways to practice creativity, right? Blatant ways.
Yeah,
y'all digging into that shit like that.
As far as what?
Hey, I heard about the morning pages.
I've been doing this since 2015.
Swear.
Yeah,
I'm on there right now.
3 pages a day.
3 pages a day.
Yeah, since 2015.
Hey, this nigga.
And a verse a day.
Put me on.
I'll tell you, this nigga.
So it's this lady by the name of Julia Cameron. She wrote this book called The Artist's Way.
I got the book.
Yeah, and it's you got the book or the workbook?
I got the book. It looked like a textbook.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
They got the questions.
No, that's okay. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
So in the book she talks about how to unblock yourself as a creative, and this book changed my life. And essentially, it's showing you what to do.
Working on being a creative.
Yeah.
Regardless of what
the field is. It don't matter what the field is. Right?
Okay.
You can do whatever. But the point is to open you up, because the key quote that she says is, all creativity comes from God. Creativity is God's energy flowing through us.
Right.
So it's showing you how to get out of the way to allow that
to source.
Exactly.
Because most of it is over. What I come to research from it, bro. Most of it is overthinking.
Yeah.
Most of
That's how you
it.
build those walls up.
Yeah.
So you gotta get to the point to where you fully confident in your craft, to where you bro, nothing I do is boo boo.
And the
right?
thing
You know what I'm saying?
is,
so let it go. You ain't gonna hit on everything.
Yeah.
No,
and that's part of the process.
That's part of the process.
What I was just 2 nights ago, just talking about was man, when you first of all, flowers don't pick themselves. For sure. And when you chosen for real, you have to. It's a journey, but you understand that you have to also get out the way and understand that. Bro, get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's something else controlling you in the first place. And you were already subscribed and said that you was willing to do this, whether you knew it or not.
It's mine.
So at that point, how you do the character is how you do it. But it's going to be done.
Right.
Your road and your trajectory in the ride that you on, you already buckled in for that ride. So, and when it comes to the creativity, it's all right, I'm thinking so much about myself that I'm not tapping in and letting the source flow through me, because I'm letting the source flow through me, because that's either ego or pride, thinking I'm in control anyway.
It's mind versus body, bro.
Yeah.
Mind versus body, bro.
Versus spirit, soul to
mind versus body. Hey, because your mind, bro, is your spirit somewhat. It's some conscious.
Hey, what he say? 80% bullshit. 20%.
Hey, fuck that, man. Let's get to the bullshit right there. We gonna bring that back. I want to talk about conspiracy.
Now that we know how he came to the home thing, let's get back to the let's get back to the bullshit.
We gonna bring that back. I want Joseph, don't let me forget, nigga. I want to talk to you because you was talking about the Vic interview about the artistry, like about time and not giving nigga everything. So we gonna come back to that.
I need another drink before we get into this discussion.
Hold up.
Hold on.
The one I got for you right now. I'm scared to even talk about it.
Oh no.
The hollow moon.
Let me say this disclaimer real quick. My views do not express.
Long TV. This is not a direct. I'm moving my mic.
Look, so the hollow moon. Hey, y'all seen it?
Yeah, you talking about that? I think that goes back to the David Eicher.
David Eicher, who the fuck is it?
That's the dude that started really making it popular about the whole hollow earth thing. And I don't know.
No, hollow. I'm talking about hollow moon.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I said hollow earth, but
what did he say?
He was basically saying it was a satellite, and that
the moon is satellite.
Yeah, and that there's like a base on the other side of the moon, on the dark side of the moon.
Right.
And then, which is crazy because whenever we sent the bomb up,
you fully into this shit. You do this shit.
They sent the bomb up there like back in 2010 or something like that when I came back from Iraq. I remember.
You went to Iraq?
Yeah.
Alright, we gotta talk about that.
But I remember seeing it on the news because I thought it was strange. It was right when Michael Jackson had passed.
Yeah.
And then we sent the bomb up to the moon to collect data. And then
y'all sent the bomb to the moon to collect
the government did.
Why you say
these soldier niggas killed me, bro.
I couldn't talk.
But nah, keep going.
So they sent a bomb up there to collect data and stuff, right? And which I thought was strange. I'm like, how we collecting data from the
what the bomb do?
Anyways, but I remember reading about it, and I couldn't tell you the story. It's been a long time since I got into that, but they said that it basically gave off a vibration when it hit.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I thought that was.
What did it say?
That goes back to that whole theory that it is a hollow moon.
Alright, so feel niggas look,
he know about it.
Hold up, to feel niggas.
You can stay and live on the moon.
Listen.
Hold on.
No,
man. Hey, Dre, that's Dre's home.
Hey, look. So this is the conspiracy in full.
What is that?
Let me tell you, I'm gonna break it down.
Fool.
Cause it fucked me up, bro. It fucked me up. So the first thing I seen that got me on the rabbit hole was that they were basically saying we never been to the moon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
they were saying that Apollo 11, which was the first trip to the moon, they said it really didn't happen.
Hey, you look at The Shining, the movie The Shining?
The Shining.
They put
alright, so a nigga
Steven Spielberg put a little Easter egg.
Nah, it wasn't Steven Spielberg. It was another nigga.
Who was it?
But I don't know his name right now.
You said what's the name of the movie?
It's The Shining, the scary movie. It's a famous scary movie. So whoever had something to do with the making of that movie put little
Easter eggs
into the movie.
Yeah, who was the producer?
It was
Stephen King.
It wasn't him. It wasn't him though. It's a no name nigga. It's a no.
Oh, it's a Stanley Kubrick.
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 So they're saying basically he directed the pictures that they released for the Apollo 11, saying they hit the moon.
His family before he died.
No, he didn't admit to his family. He had a journal, like I was talking about the morning pages. He had a journal where he wrote in his personal journal to himself, like about him having regrets for doing that shit
during that time,
for being a part of that. So in the movie The Shining, he left little NASA Easter eggs, Apollo, number on the room, all this shit
on the little boy's
all this other shit. It was a lot of shit, bro. Like tons of shit that is obvious. You know what I'm saying? But so how it go? They say that they faked the first one. Now they say they did make the trip to the moon on the 12th, when they dropped, what they did was they dropped some shit first before they touched down. Right?
I never heard this part.
Okay. So this is Apollo 12. Yeah, bro, I've been on this shit all week. This shit fresh on the brain. So Apollo 12, they go to the moon. They do get there. Before they actually land, they drop something on the moon. Like, just drop it. Boom.
But how can they drop it with gravity?
Huh?
With gravity.
What you mean?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because gravity is different on the moon than it is here. So it's
you don't think it'll drop?
No, I don't know. I don't know. But I'm saying it's not like Earth's gravity to where what goes up must come down. It's like you kind of like, you float.
They got close enough to put something on there and let this hit first, okay?
Okay.
So, when it hits, they report and they show from the report of Apollo 12 that it rung like a bell for an hour.
Right.
For an hour?
For an hour.
But NASA came out publicly.
That released that. This was public information.
Yeah.
When they dropped that shit on the moon.
That's not conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what they reported back. They not knowing. They just giving information of what they experiencing at the time. It's technically the first time on the moon. The shit rings off for an hour long. You know what I'm saying? It made a noise. So it's basically giving off that it's hollow inside.
Yeah, it's made.
You know what I'm saying? So they still touch down, whoopie whoop. Long story short, within this period of time, from the 60s to the 70s, somebody got to fact check me on the last time they went. They go about, 6 or 7 times to the moon?
I ain't think we've been that much.
Yeah, it was like 6 or 7 times. Mm-hmm. My nigga, they haven't been back.
They say we lost the technology, right?
How we lose the technology?
That's the official word from NASA.
That is not what they say.
Bro, I promise you.
How we lose
the technology? You can look on YouTube and search.
We should be more, we more advanced.
There's an actual person from NASA that say, we lost the technology.
We went 9 times.
From going to...
But what we will say is that it's possible.
Lost the tapes. They lost the actual tapes.
How is it possible, Joseph? Tell me.
Can we rebuild the pyramids?
Hold on, you talking about something that happened like 50 years ago?
No. Because Elon Musk talked about it.
But that's,
we can lose.
That's thousands of years ago.
But it's still, we lost the technology.
Elon Musk is a puppet.
Huh?
Elon Musk is a puppet.
Last time
all I'm saying is
1972.
Why, if you have visited somewhere, bro, why the fuck would we not be going back? It's 50 plus motherfucking years.
Hold on, bro.
We would have been trying to build some shit on that hoe.
Bro,
we just not
got a number. You forgot a number from the 2000s.
What?
Did you forget a number that you memorized from the 2000s?
What you talking about?
Did you forget a number that you remember when we used to memorize numbers?
Yeah.
Have you ever forgot what?
I mean, oh, you trying to prove a point?
he said. I ain't talking about that, bro. I'm just talking.
I'm talking about a whole group.
I'm just talking shit, bro. Listen, I'm just.
Yeah, he's trying to fuck me up. He's working. He's working. Hey, don't say.
What you say? It's slick talk.
Slick talk, ass. Hey,
he a shit.
Yeah, watch this. Hey, but my nigga, so what do y'all think about that? Basically, bro, long story short, it's getting into the Anunnaki. Y'all know about that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Anunnaki is getting into that, basically saying that we are not able to process certain things that we see on the world.
But that's fact. Science proves that. You know that they prove that we can't see certain colors that exist because our eyes aren't developed enough.
Who said that?
That's science.
Yeah, that's science. Yeah, that's.
What's the colors though? I want to know what the colors.
How do you know the colors if you never?
But how do the science know?
Exactly.
But how does the science know?
Who's done shrooms?
But this is the point though.
I'm scared to do shrooms. I'm scared of shrooms, bro.
What?
I don't know where I'm
Listen, bro, but look, before we get off the moon shit.
If you tapped in with Source and you on the shrooms, you like, bro, your energy.
Listen, bro, I did shrooms, bro, for the first time in March. And I did this shit thinking it wouldn't do affect me. I did it during the week on some dry shit. I'm like, I did pills before, none of that shit affect me like that.
Yeah.
So I did it like, bro, that shit.
Leave me
Nigga,
alone.
when I tell you, bro, within a matter of minutes, fam, and it took me through some shit. You know what I'm saying?
They say like
Now, I ain't even take that much.
They say it's good with
It's called your ego.
I can see that, but what I left with it, I can tell y'all what I left with it. Alright, so when I started kicking in, the first thing that I observed is everything was in motion. Like that couch over there.
Everything alive.
Like how you look into a microscope.
It's a frequency.
You know, you look into a microscope and you see bacteria and it's kind of like moving and stuff. Everything was moving. So it made me put together everything's connected.
You saw the walls breathing.
It was from there, nigga, from there I went to the mirror. From there I went to the mirror.
Hold on. Hey, let me jump back into this moon shit. I will say about this moon shit. They are still sending like satellites and stuff up to the moon.
You a little kids more.
The US,
hey, tell wifey here. You be gone, China, but you right back.
But we can't get a rocket back up there.
The U.S., China, Israel have been sending satellites to the moon.
Yeah.
Bro, our explorations, ever since we went to the moon, the moon was the furthest we've been. Ever since then, the exploration's been in the earth.
Well, we sent a satellite. This is what got me right here. We sent one up there with Korea.
Yeah, what we was doing together?
Which would depends on which Korea though.
Like 3
Bro, we not fucking with the moon no more, bro.
Why?
Like,
We scared
exactly, bro.
Oh, you saying that's like why we not?
Why we haven't been back in 50 plus
What's going on over there?
It's something happened, nigga.
Transformers.
Hey, they telling you part of the story in the movie. They telling you part of it.
What was Transformers?
Remember the dark side of the moon.
Oh yeah, and that's another fact. The moon is the only planet within the solar system. All the planets rotate. Only the moon.
Planet.
Huh?
The moon isn't a planet.
Well, it ain't a planet.
What is it?
A moon is actually considered a satellite planet for the Earth. So it is.
It's rotating.
Hold up. So it's actually a satellite.
That's his home.
You know too much.
Hey, hold on.
Hold up. What do you mean, bro? It's actually a satellite for the Earth.
That's the portal.
Hold up. What are you saying there, bro?
I don't want to talk, man.
Nah,
But look, that was another thing they said too, bro. Look, check this out. They say
I don't know nothing about none of this.
it's scientific fact that it's been proved that the moon affects the ocean, right?
Yeah, it affects you.
What are we made of?
water.
We made of like 60% water, bro. So how is it not affecting us? You know what I'm saying?
That's H3O2. It's a difference from H2O and H3O2. You have H3O2 in your body, which is a form of water, but it's a different form.
So if it's scientifically proven that the moon affects like the rises of water, bro, it affects us. It has.
That's right. That's where the whole full moon myth comes from. You turn into a werewolf.
Yeah.
That's the beast inside you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's where that come from?
Yeah.
This too deep for me.
Bro,
I got a way to take it out of being so deep. Are any of y'all afraid of getting snatched up by the PPP or PPP mouth?
Oh no, we should.
Hey, man, I got lawyers watching this right now. I ain't saying
No, we didn't get in none of that. I ain't get listen.
Hey, so when we talk about conspiracy shit like this, bro, do y'all think this shit, like, does it battle with God, bro? Like, is it going against?
Is what?
Is us questioning this? Or
I think it's, now you're talking.
Is this like contradicting?
I think the mainstream narrative of all
God and what we know is
the Anunnaki and all that. I think that they put it out there in a certain way. Hold on, question this: is the Anunnaki and all these people from outer space or whatever they talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like, we get into that, the aliens or gods, what they call them in the Anunnaki as the Anunnaki race, right? God. So is that nothing more? Is that nothing more than the fallen angels in the Bible?
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, when you look at gods in the Bible, it's not that we were denying gods; they could actually hold spiritual aspects. And so the idea that someone all collectively thinks that this is a god, it already breathes life. Just the idea of it. And so like when you're looking at all these mythologies, when you're looking at the fallen angels, the Nephilims coming down to earth, perverting animals. I mean, you think of dragons. I mean, that could have been like a demon messing around with like a chicken or a lizard, and then perverting the creation, and then it coming to light as a dragon. Or a serpent. And so all these gods are actually in a sense real. What is the true God is of course Christ, and in that biblical aspect he is the true God. But when you're talking about gods, these gods are real.
There's lowercase g's for sure.
They're lowercase gods. They're mentioned in the Bible.
What I seen it said that the only thing that separates universe is time. So what I took from hearing that is that it could be all of these things are true. You know what I'm saying? It's just that this is like with the Emerald Tablets. That was their Bible around their time, or things they were experiencing. The earth has been wiped clean. Man has been born. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is our Bible of these times that we experiencing. Eventually, like our Bible has told us, we gonna get wiped out.
Yep.
And then they will have to look at our old ass Bible and wonder, what was the truth and stuff.
And I think, but you'll see within the Bible, collectively, like geographically, it talks a lot about all these religions. And there's no
what is up with the ones that were left out?
Are you talking about